This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
To make any adjustments on the truck, but right now, guys, it doesn't look like you need any.
Well, he's coming up to finish another lap. Greg Biffle is 25 seconds ahead of him. Take a look at the Glen Master, because here at Watkins Glen, in 3 races, he has 2 victories, in 97 and 99, 3 poles. He's led 42 laps. He also has a Busch Series win here, 2 Trans Am victories at Prescott, and he is in the rail hard. Steve Prescott from Gardner, Maine, right at pit in here. So there may be no yellow here, because that literally exactly what happened to him. Coming onto the main straightaway here, and it looks like he just... Oh boy, was he ever lucky to miss the end of that pit wall there. We didn't see what led up to that, but certainly looked a little bit wide of the racing line. And he just got it spun around, got on the throttle, tried to keep spinning. To Watkins Glen International, we're under our first caution of the day here on lap 16, and we'll tell you all about that. It involved Rick Corelli, but there's been a lot of off-course excursions. In fact, let's bring you up to speed so that you know how to keep going. Then there's J.D. Gibbs. He's taking a trip through the Tuoles as well. Brings it way down into traffic. Luckily, nobody gets into him. Then here's what happened just a moment ago. Rick Corelli just loses it going down into the S's. That's a real fast section, but he keeps it off of the wall. Nice save. Ruined a set of good years in the process, though. It's the 93 of Wayne Edwards. Again, that's down in turn 1 area. And the snagajob.com Chevy is in the gravel for the second time, and he's up to the axles. 8 or so, and he really took his time, but man, once he got settled in, he's just been flying. Oh, J.D. Gibbs has stuffed the MB&A Chevrolet hard. The nose totally smashed. He's getting it going again, and he's going to try and make it back to pit lane. And hopefully that is back at the inner loop. Hopefully, oh, he is definitely going by. Now take another look. It's a bit of an island out there, and it looks like he just got in there too hot, and man, nosed into that rail. Never seen anyone do that. Boy, the officials diving underneath the guardrail to get out of the way. Yeah, we've never seen something like that before. I've seen a lot of crashes down to the inner loop, but that's one I've never seen. And the safety crews have got the fire out. JD's got the helmet off. Back at round 13 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Marty Reed along with Jeremy Dale, Dave Burns and Amy East in pit lane. And you're still looking at Scott Riggs, who is trying to get out of the gravel pit down in turn number 1. And they have finally been able to hook him up. The gentleman on your left in the blue suit had to crawl underneath, dig his way underneath to get hooked up to the rear axle so that they could make his attempt to pull him out. And it looks like they're going to get him out of there. But we are under our 4th caution of the day. We've had 7 different leaders, 8 different lead changes. And it's all kind of developed before this, because he's clearly very much out of control, never even close to the racing line, coming down to 1. And at a great rate of speed, so he might have lost. His old tires is just like a chicken waiting to be plucked. But he'd definitely be struggling with these tires, and that doesn't help. Oh, he's gone around, yes, right at pit entrance, and there he saves it from going off. But that is going to ruin Marty Houston's chance for victory here at the Spears Chevrolet on the bridge cam. He's going right underneath. And look at Wallace, just sneaks through. Nice move by Wallace to make the save, and now we've seen Marty Houston both times go
truck, and when they did that, they had done many different things to get the braking system just right on the primary truck. They didn't get to do all those tricks, according to Brian Patty, on this backup truck. As he goes over the curb and through the grass, guys, he's in trouble now.
With the brake situation, he just went kamikaze and went airborne. Well, he never really had that pass finished off as he came into the inner loop. It was a bit of a desperation move. And so he had to turn the truck in, and that was the only line he could take, run truck to the front. Here's the tails away look. And look at how early he turns in. He knows he doesn't really have a hope, and he just launches that thing. Sprague does the smart thing, just holds his line, waits for the position, cuts back. So 9 laps to go while all that action's been going on. Greg Biffle's opened up 7/10 of a second over Busch, and there is Jeff Beck, who had a very nice run going in 16th position. He is in the gravel, and now we have a new record for cautions here at the Bully Hill Vineyards 150. This will be number 5. A lead group here. Let's take a look down into turn 1 again. And you can see he just gets in there much too hot, never gets down to the racing line, and it's real dirty. off that racing line. And just confidence is sky high. Look at this. These guys nose to tail and valuable points. Oh, no. And Scott Riggs is taking it off course again. Down in the turn 1 area. This time not caught in the gravel pit. There is your race leader, Greg Biffle. The one thing Biffle does not want to see here is a full course caution. Remember, we do not end the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series under yellow. There would be a green-white checker situation.
And look at Fellows.
I was just going to say,
You're not racing Ron Fellows for the championship, but he's certainly taking points away from you.
Wallace got a nice exit off of turn 11, and he takes the defensive line. He'll make that forward as wide as he can. On the outside, Fellows is going to try it. Hold on. Is there enough grip? Wow.
Great move by Ron Fellows.
I can't believe it. Look at Patty. He said, I'm breathing again. That was one fantastic pass. So Fellows is into third with 2 laps remaining. That's the margin. Biffle, your pole sitter. Kurt Busch, the 21-year-old rookie. And Ron Fellows, the 40-year-old Canadian from Mississauga, just outside Toronto. He started dead last in the field.
And again, same kind of gap that he pulled out on Sprague. He's now pulled out on Mike Wallace.
You know, if he could pull this out, it would set a new Craftsman Truck Series record, because the furthest back that anybody's ever won from was Nashville in '98. Jimmy Hensley started 30th to win that race. This time by, though, white flag is going to be coming out. 1 lap remaining. Don't think there's going to be enough time. He's going to need a little bit of a rocket ship. We talked about it coming into this broadcast. Could Greg Biffle make it 3 in a row? It looks like he's got a very good chance of it. Sprague getting 2 wheels off. You saw the dust fly. There is the Grainger.com Ford. Right in this section, this is where he banged the truck hard in the rear quarter deck in the second practice session. 2 hours later, this crew had put him back on the pole with a great run and some great work. And now, he is just a couple of turns away from his 3rd consecutive victory. Coming through the outer loop for the final time. He stretched the lead. Greg Biffle is making another statement. It'll be his 4th win in the last 5 races. This is the first time that a man has won 3 in a row since Ron Hornaday did it in 1997. The Grainger.com Ford of Greg Biffle. Going to the last corner. Fellows tries to look underneath. The Biffle Busch Killer Bees are going to do it. They're going to sweep.
Franks is going to get a 5th.
So Biffle does it again, lengthens his points lead. Carlos Contreras in 8th position. We have already talked about the top 5. There's our top 15, as we had a total of 8.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a paid advertisement for The Magic Bullet, brought to you by Homeland Housewares.